Making peace with sensible modifications in EMDR therapy. With clients who carry severe trauma, the battle isn't that you're going to help them heal in an inefficient way. The real battle is that you aren't going to help them resource enough to start. You may be so overwhelmed by the complexity of the presentation that you never actually start the unburdening process. That's really unfortunate. You're a trauma therapist and your clients really need to heal. If you think that there are therapists out there who are so good at what they do that they're making the treatment of complex trauma easy, there aren't. Treating complex trauma is almost always difficult. It's slow, and even when you think you're done, you're not. We can acknowledge that there's an ideal way to do EMDR therapy with a relatively healthy person. We can do EMDR therapy exactly the way that Francine Shapiro wanted us to do it, and we should train it that way. But when we look at what complex trauma is and recognize what EMDR therapy is, there's an admission price to this therapy that is higher than many clients with complex trauma can pay right now. Many clients with complex trauma aren't going to get healthy enough to do EMDR therapy the way we trained you until they do some healing. We can try to endlessly resource them until they are, or we can learn some sensible accommodations that allow this client to start this journey somewhere. In this dynamic, the easiest thing to adjust is how we do it. EMDR therapy is one of a handful of ways that people with trauma can fully heal. It doesn't have to be done exactly same way with every client. Shapiro didn't advocate that, and that's not in the EMDRIA definition of what EMDR therapy is. And it's not sound clinical practice to run all of your clients through some type of machine. Sometimes the way we train you is that we scare you into doing EMDR therapy one way and imply that if you aren't doing it that way, real harm to your client may occur. Harm comes when you bring interventions and agenda to clients that don't match their right now nervous system. Yes, harm can come when a well-trained therapist does EMDR therapy technically perfectly with a client who is not prepared to do EMDR therapy that way right now. Plenty of harm happens at the hands of poorly trained therapists. Plenty of harm happens when therapists have their eyes on a protocol and not on the realities of their client's right now nervous system. We can hold on one hand standard protocol and acknowledge it for the wonderful ingenuity in it. But can we hold on the other hand that your clients with severe trauma struggle in places and for reasons that relatively healthy people don't? They need options other than endlessly returning to repeat what didn't work in phase two. There's sensible options and accommodations for many clients with complex trauma. When your interventions match the realities of your client's right now nervous system, then you're doing the good, slow, and tolerable, and ultimately transformational work that your client's recovery requires.